Here we're going to solve literal equations with parentheses. So it adds a little more of a dynamic to what we're doing. So this equation is W equals F times, and then in parentheses we have R plus B. And in this case we're solving for R. So again, if we're solving for R, we want R equal to something. We're going to solve literal equations using the same steps as normal linear equations with numbers. We just are probably not going to be able to simplify. We might be able to simplify part of it, but chances are we're not going to be able to simplify everything. So our R in this case is actually inside the parentheses. So here's what we want to do. So we can't touch anything in those parentheses. We have to get rid of the stuff outside the parentheses first. So that because it's being multiplied by f, we're going to have to divide both sides by f. So on the right side, f divided by f, that's going to give us 1, so that goes away. So w over f equals r plus b. We don't need the parentheses anymore since that's the only thing left. And now to get rid of the b, we're going to subtract b on both sides. So again, we're not simplifying, right? There's nothing we can do here. So r is going to equal w divided by f minus b. That's how you would write your answer. If, for some reason, you need to write your answer as one big fraction, you need common denominators. So that's b over 1. So you could write it as w over f minus, if you think of it this way, b times f over f. You'd have to multiply that to get a common denominator. So the other way you could write this is w minus bf, and the whole thing would be over f. So you might need that for certain types of problems, but both of these answers are equivalent. They're both correct. So let's do another example. So we're going to solve this equation. S equals m divided by 4 times a plus h. So we're solving for h. So h is going to equal something. H is inside the parentheses, so we're going to leave that the way it is. I have to get rid of multiplying this fraction. So I can divide a fraction, but if I divide by m over 4, that is equivalent. That is the same thing as multiplying by the reciprocal, 4 over m. So I'm not going to write the division and then have to rewrite it as multiplying. I'm just going to straight up do the multiplying. So I'm going to multiply the left side by 4 over m, and I'm going to multiply the right side by 4 over m. So keep in mind, the reason we're doing this is to get rid of the fraction we're dividing. That means the m's and the 4's are all going to cancel on the right side of that equation. So I'll be left with a plus h on the right side. And the left side, if we just put that together, it's 4 times s, 4s divided by m. We're solving for h, so we subtract a, both sides. So you get 4s over m minus a equals h. And there you go. That's your answer. Again, there's really not much to simplify. If you need to write it as one big fraction, we do the same thing we just did in the other problem. So 4s over m minus a, I'll actually write this out a little more. You put the a over 1, you multiply by m to get a common denominator. So you'd get 4s minus a m, and the denominator would be m. And that's how you would write that one. So literal equations, you're following the same steps that you're used to. You're just not simplifying into really small terms that make it nice and pretty.